Namaste everyone, it's the Chess Puzzler. Thank you so much for coming back on my channel today. Before we move ahead, I would request that you please subscribe my channel so that you are abreast with all the latest videos that I post for your benefit. I intend to keep posting chess puzzles and different challenges for you that is going to definitely help you improve your chess this year. Today's theme is double bishop sacrifice. German world champion Emanuel Lasker had featured this particular pattern in 1889, and since then it's a pattern for a lot of classical games. Let's see what this theme is all about. The key things that you need to remember to execute this properly is a bishop sacrifice on h7. In this case, it's going to be our bishop on d3. A bishop sacrifice on g7. That's our bishop on d4. And finally, we can see that our queen can come into the attack fairly quickly, but we also need to be sure that our rook can speedily enter the attack as well. Rook f3 g3, or maybe rook a2 f1, and then f3 g3 or f3 h3, or so on. Let's see how we can bring all of this together and make double bishop sacrifice worthwhile. Right, it's white to move. We start with the sacrifice number 1, that's on h7. King takes on h7. Queen comes to h5. King goes back to g8. Normally in these positions, our mind automatically goes to the h7 square or the h8 square, where we can safely put our queen, backed by maybe a rook or maybe a bishop, to checkmate the king. But we have a quicker way of executing a checkmate that begins with a bishop sacrifice on g7. The king takes. Now we can see both our rooks are very easily accessible. They can easily enter the battlefield before black can come and try to defend the king. So after queen g4 check, king moves to h8 to the corner. Now the king cannot really move out of the h file because of our queen. Rook comes to f3. Now queen will support this bishop when it moves to h4 after the move rook h3, but black is going to lose a lot of pieces and eventually lead to its misery. Rook h3 check. It's a checkmate if there was no bishop or queen defending the h4 square. So in exchange for a rook, we got a bishop and opponent's queen. So we are up material compared to where we started from. While black's minor pieces are somewhere in the corner, black's rooks are also not that active, and black's king is completely exposed and in the corner, while our white rook can easily join the party and deliver a beautiful checkmate to the black king. I hope you can remember this pattern. With that, we'll start with the puzzle number 1. It's white to move. Please take your time. Think of how you can make the most of these beautifully placed bishops, sacrifice them, and still come out on the top. As we go through the solution of this puzzle, you will realize how similar it was to the example that we just solved. We'll start with a bishop sacrifice on h7, king takes, queen to h5, king goes back to g8, followed by another bishop sacrifice on g7, queen g4. So far, it's exactly the same as what we did in the previous puzzle. King h7, and now the white rook comes into play. Rook f3, followed by a subtle move e5. This allows the queen to protect the black king from the sixth rank. Rook h3, queen h6. So we give up our rook to get the queen, followed by queen d7. So you can see we gave up our rook, but we are getting at least one of the bishops and the queen in return. All right. This is the puzzle number 2 for the day. It's black to move. Please see how you can sacrifice your bishops to come out on top while dominating the entire game and eventually winning it. This puzzle could have been slightly tricky, but I do hope that you were able to see at least a few steps into this variation. We'll start with A bishop sacrifice on h2, king takes, queen enters the game, king goes back to h1, followed by another sacrifice by black on g2. Now, as you can see, black rook can easily come into the game, while all the minor pieces of white and white's queen, they are all far, far away from where the action is happening. King goes to h1, rook f6. Now, the white pieces desperately try to be a part of this action, maybe go to h2 or perhaps h5, h4, but it's all going to be completely futile because the next move, queen takes, king goes to g1, rook g6, h2, and checkmate, queen g2. However, after bishop to g2, instead of capturing the bishop, white could simply play, sorry, yeah, instead of capturing the bishop, white could simply play g3, f3, so as to bring all the white pieces toward the king side and try to prevent an eventual checkmate. This will be simply followed by queen to g3. Now, another desperate attempt by white will be playing knight to e4. Since this is the only piece which can attack either the bishop or the queen, white takes that chance because as you can see, neither the rooks, nor the queen, nor the knight, or nor the bishop, nobody can really attack any of these aggressive pieces, which will eventually deliver checkmate with the help of the rook as well. Another reason why the knight played on e4 is to prevent the move rook to f3, but rook to f6. But we can simply just take the knight on e4, then comes rook f2, therefore delivering a double attack on the bishop. The bishop simply slides, delivering a check. King goes to h1, and now our rook enters the game. Queen c2, rook h6, rook h2. Although white has managed fairly to bring some pieces on towards the king side to defend it, black is simply superior because of its beautifully placed pieces and discovered checks and checkmate threats. With that, I'm bringing the final puzzle of the day.
Just like the other solutions, this case is not of a checkmate, but to have a superior position by giving up our two bishops. Let's see how the solution goes. We sacrifice the first bishop on h file, thereby opening the entire h file to the black king, keeping it available for our attack. One important thing that we can also see over here is that our king is not castled, which means we have the freedom of opening our h file as well, launching an attack from our h file as well, because our king can eventually also castle the queen side. With that in mind, king takes on h7, queen moves to h5, king goes back, followed by second sacrifice. So we are opening the g file as well, and the king takes on g7, queen h6, guarded by our pawn on g5, and after the king goes back to g8, you can see all of these squares are not available for the king, which means we can bring other pieces into the action and try to deliver a checkmate. And we start by doing rook to g1. So the rook will come into the play, maybe f3, maybe g3, h3. Perhaps white king can also castle, bring the second rook also into the game, and launch an unstoppable attack toward the black king. I hope this video was good. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you learned something new from this video. If you did, then please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and also please comment on how I can make my videos better for you. Thank you so much for visiting once again. It's the Chess Puzzler signing out.